said that American employees put in X many hours, and we are leading the world in the hours we spend working. And it compared us to other countries, and evidently in '79, we were kind of equal with our industrial counterparts, England and France and other places, even Japan. But we have far surpassed them now. Other countries are enjoying the spoils of their labor, taking vacations and Sabbaths, and we haven't quite gotten the hang of it. Always hustling. And I would love to blame that on the Protestant work ethic or something. The American way, I'm not sure. But I was thinking this week as I was preparing to say something similar to this at the vigil on Wednesday. There's the monthly vigil for the county's, say it again? Sanctuary Coalition. Someone called me the morning of on Wednesday and said, "Everybody's canceled. What are you doing today?" And I said, I could talk about Sabbath. And it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking that if I'm tired, how much more tired are people who are laborers? How much more tired are the folks who are farm workers, who I depend on and don't think of most of the time when I'm sitting talking with someone, not using my muscles and in the heat. If I'm exhausted, what are they? And we could talk about capitalism, which is not in the Bible, and consumption, which is also not good according to our scriptures, and how they have taken from me and from you and our neighbors, which is why when I stumbled upon actually reading the Bible, the fourth commandment, I was kind of stunned by what I found there. Did it sound familiar to all of you? Well, there were pieces that caught me, so if you don't mind, I will expand on some of those. The piece that talks about you should do this, you should take a Sabbath because you were once a slave. And don't make yourself or anyone in your household a slave ever again. And if you don't think you're a slave here in America in 2026, may I ask a simple question? Do you have a smartphone? Do you have a smartphone? I also found a statistic recently that said, on average, just having a smartphone, I'm not talking about a stereotypical young user who uses it all the time, not answering your phone, not texting, just having it, on average, we look at it 80 times a day. And I thought, I don't do that, but I've been paying attention, and I might have a higher number than I would care to admit. So how do we reclaim our personhood, our spirituality, if we are chained to phones and to work, and we aren't very good at taking a full Sabbath, whatever that might mean? How do we step away? And then I found this scripture in the New Testament, and we just heard it. Here's the more traditional version. "Come to me, all you who are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest," Jesus says. "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And the Greek word for easy, as in the yoke, it means it is well-fitting, it is kind. It doesn't chafe or cause pain. A well-fitting yoke on a large ox or some such animal actually makes the work easier. And the Message version that we heard takes that kind of to this next level and takes the metaphor and says, Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Walk with me may be suggesting that Jesus is actually talking about a double yoke, which is, because I have so much agricultural experience, but I've seen on TV and in movies where they have two animals, and the ox has the big thing on top of them, right? And there's two pulling, or two horses, or what have you, and the idea is that the better trained, probably older animal is helping the younger one learn the rhythm of this is how we pull the thing. And so they teach one another until they can both be at the same place and pull together. And so the workload lightens when they figure out how to be in sync with one another. And that is a great sermon illustration right there. How to be in sync with God, to make that load feel a little bit lighter. And if you're wondering, we are the ones who are younger and trying to catch up and to learn. Are you tired? Our scripture actually asks us, are you burned out on religion? Then come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me, work with me, watch how I do it. And then it says, learn the unforced rhythms of grace. And this is, I hope, the point of a Sabbath or a sabbatical, to relearn or unlearn or actually learn how to get in touch with God's rhythms. So yes, as I'm about to head off on sabbatical, I hope to discover these rhythms. And then, of course, I want to come back and tell you all about it. Perhaps we can find new rhythms together, and vice versa. Because you are taking a sabbatical with me, from me. Together, we will do some new things. We will walk in different ways. We will miss each other and miss that presence. And I also hope we will all learn a few things. And I know a bunch of you will be working differently, and dare I say it, harder, in my absence so that I can take this rest. And I give thanks for you and for all that has been done and will be done to keep our community moving forward. And I know that life can be unpredictable, and there may be some difficult or hard moments. And I trust that you all can walk with each other and carry each other through. And may you rest. And maybe take more time to not look at that phone so that you might find God's rhythm in you in a special way this summer, so that you might be filled with more joy and your soul might be restored. So if in doubt, take a breath, rest in God. God's rhythm will find you. And as we go from one another, I hope and I pray that you will pray with and for me, and I will be praying for you. And I hope that you will experience God in fresh and beautiful ways. And I look forward to hearing all about it when I return. Godspeed.